together or separate, you still work in an industry full of cutthroats. And while people who love to polish their saddles and rob names, well, we don't call them names, you know what I mean. Those people always get very excited over, well, who you were with? Who do you know? With the era of business changing from I'm looking for a label to do, what a label's like we're looking for you to do, how does an artist stay business savvy yet artist savvy as well? Because in hip hop, we always call people artists, and I personally don't think everybody in hip hop is an artist. We have a lot of participants, and the participants are not serious, but the artists take it as a craft. So being business savvy and artist savvy, what is the future of that when it comes to business and being proactive in the business?
Damn. First, I would say, I think you got a lot more artists nowadays that are looking at themselves as like CEOs of their own, like their own companies, and the company is themselves. You know, so you got certain people who are great at building their own brands, because if you can manipulate social media these days, like there's ways to get paid. You know, they got kids making $1 million interviewing reviewing toys on YouTube.
Word.
Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, so I think being so social media savvy, you got a lot of younger artists who know how to or who, when the smart ones, they know how to build a brand for themselves. They know that I'm my own. I need to take these kind of photos. I need to take. I mean, I swear it is. I've never seen girls be so great at knowing their angles.
Yeah.
Like, yo, that's like the best thing for a photographer. Like, yo, you know your angles. All right, let's go. Like, you know, I can. But yo, these girls, all the pictures be like, you know, to the point that, you know what I'm saying? Dudes like, all right, we know what you really look like, man, based on the way you got the angle. But it's like, but you know, man, that's just a photography thing. But I'm just saying, like, it's one thing to like I said, to be your own businessman. So you're in control of your own brand. You're in control of your own limitations and your limits, because I think you got less artists saying, well, not less, but you got some artists now saying, I'm not going to give you everything. I'll give you, you know, the rights to everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I'm gonna make my music like this. I'm gonna keep my look like this. Like, my Instagram gonna look like this. I'm gonna do this on social media and talk to my friend. Like, you know what I mean? And they'll make money and stuff like that. I think so. It's just about knowing you got a product that I got something you want, so you need me.
Believing in yourself and believing in your brand, honestly.
Yeah.
Do you want to? Yeah, you guys pretty much play that out.
But that goes to show how many participants fail.
Yeah.
And this is what I mean when I say participants. An artist makes art, whether it be music, video, whatever. An artist makes art to set the standard, to set a precedence, and to last forever.
But do they? Yeah.
But that's an artist.
Okay.
A participant joins the wave, makes a name, and then melts.
Well, yeah.
So
Because that only happens if somebody gets into something and they're not sincere about it. Like we've dealt with clients that are sincere and they're sincere to the core, and versus somebody like you just talked about, like being in a wave. If you're in a wave, like you said, they're gonna melt out. Like eventually, their fire is gonna burn out. If somebody's really sincere about what they're doing, their craft, and they really believe in themselves, no matter what people are saying, no matter what we say, how they feel about it, they're gonna keep going. And then if you keep going long enough, you'll succeed, regardless of, you know, talent versus, you know, longevity. You know what I mean? You it kind of meets up together.
I would say it also depends on the definition and the end result. Because for some people, like, nah, this is art. But then the other people, like, nah, this is art. Like, art is hard to define. You know, what I might think is good hip hop, and what this kid over here might think is good hip hop, and then what my dad might think is good. You know what I mean? Like, it's subjective. So I think it has to be a balance. It's the art versus consumerism. What do you want to do? Do you want to make art? Do you want to make money? Do you want to make both? You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, if you had told me 10 years ago that Future would be as popping as he is right now, I'd have been like, you crazy. Not to say that he is a definite, you know what I mean? But, yo, like, you don't know till later who's really art. You know what I mean? Nobody thought Kanye would be who Kanye is now back then. You know what I'm saying? Like,
people said Nas was whack when he first came out.
People thought that hip hop as an art form wouldn't last. So I mean, the winners write history. You know what I'm saying? So like the thing is, do what you do. Like whether your company consists of just you or a team of people, find your lane, find what you're good at, do it. It don't matter what you think, what I think, whatever. The money, the money or whatever it is that you define success, whether it's money, accolades, comments on your IG, whatever it is, that will show over time. And we're in an era where Instagram influencers is a thing. That exists.
YouTubers. IG models.
Chicks make money being half naked.
IG model.
Although I do love half naked chicks.
Shout out to porn.
But
do that.
But see what I mean? Like, porn back in the day. Porn back in the day versus now. Like there's so many ways to make money. Yeah, there's so many ways to make money, and now I feel like whatever type of artist you are, however good you are at that art, there's so many ways to make money off of it now if your business is right. So what I'll say is, for whatever you do, don't listen to what nobody else say. Make sure your business is right. Make sure you own whatever it is you do. Whether I think it's trash, whatever. You know what I mean? Own whatever it is that you do. So if all else fails, you still getting paid or getting whatever accolades you do. Now, if you just want to make, maybe you just want to I do this. Like some artists, like they don't think like, I'm setting a trend. They have a vision in their mind and they just create it. And people may like it or may not. So the definitions vary. But whatever it is that you do in 2020, own your shit. That's my advice to whoever's watching.
Let me interject right there because I agree totally, because my definition of hip hop, when I say artist and participant, I may throw some people off. I'm gonna shout out my show, shout out to the Mic Council. When we had a dope conversation, what's the difference between timeless music and classic music? And when we got in that conversation, we really delved deep into what it actually is a classic. And some classics aren't even timeless. And then some classics aren't even classics, they're cult classics. So then it goes to the subjectivity of the listener and the era in which it came out. Back to what you said, who would have thought Tech 9 would be the shit? Right? And for most people, Tech 9 is not even hip hop, because they'll think of Tim's and stuff as hip hop, but he's something totally different, which is fine. But I break up a conversation. I had a shout out to the Heat DJs. I was able to get on the call and talk to Jermaine Dupri. And I asked him, I said, what is the future of hip hop with women now that feminine energy seems to be running the game, when a lot of the ladies out now are better than the guys? But they're still not.
I thought you meant Young Thug when you said feminine energy.
Somebody besides me, yes. But I was talking about how females are now taking a springboard ahead in the game, and what's going to make them stand out and be prolific in hip hop as it continues generationally. And as he cleared his throat countless of times, he then said it comes down to females being able to own their craft and sell units. When the dollar is the bottom line to success, how does an artist correctly gauge success when monetary goals seem to be the main principle in their creative art?
You can't, because if you're in it for money, what you have, like, you'll never have enough money, because every time you get to a different bracket, there's more. You're exposed to different things that you may have never seen before. There are things that, when I was 20 years old, that I was like, ooh, $100, like,
yo,
like $100 for the ooh.
We could stretch $20.
Yo, you know what I'm saying? Now it's like, now I may look and be like, $100? I'll get that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it depends on where you are. But I just be like, to me, if you do it for money, you'll never be satisfied. If you do it for the art, like, be authentic. That's my thing. That's what an artist is to me. When I listen to their music, I'm like, you know what? They're them. there may be a million Future clones in the world, but there is one Future. Like, you may not like him, you may like him, whatever you feel about his music, he is who he is. Like, that is Future. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Drake is Drake. Like, there's a million Drake clones, and there's a million people who attempt to sound like Drake for the money, but when you do it for the money, you never last, because that's when you start doing things for the money. That's when you start cutting them corners. That's when you start doing shady things here and there for the money, because it's never enough. If you do it for the art, then what you create, that's your success. Like, yo, I got my album out. It's what I wanted. It's what my voice was. It's where I'm at. I'm confident with me and my team at. Okay, I put it out there. And listen, if somebody out here doing, you know, I don't know, if you get to the point 10, 15, 20 G's a show, like, bro, like, people sit there looking at that person like, oh, they not making no money. Like, bro, like,
yeah,
that's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? But because what's your standard? Because yeah, there are people that making like racks on racks. But my thing is, you making 20 G's a show, you get 2-3 shows a month. Like, bro, like, you can live off that.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can live comfortably off that if you not trying to be on some, oh, I gotta show everybody that I'm a boss. Like, so
Yeah.
I'm not in this for the art. I'm in it for the shine.
Yeah.
That burns quick.
Yeah.
And
And I
that
would say-
story always repeats itself.
And I would say, like, you lose yourself. Like you said, you're never. If you don't set a goal for yourself and the money is the goal, then you'll never really attain anything, because you're constantly trying to chase, like a dog chasing his tail. Like, you're constantly gonna be running after something where you don't realize you already have something that you already were chasing from the beginning, but now you want to be like him because you see that he's making 50 million, and then you be around him, you make you 50 million. Now you want to be like him because he's doing 100 million. You know what I mean? Now, if you go back to the guy you was from the beginning, you know what I mean? That 50 million was something you really would enjoy.
That guy's looking at you like, yo, you made it, and you looking like, nah, there's more levels I need to get to.
Exactly.
I'm never happy.
Just to add on to that, I want to say there's a difference between business and doing things for money. Now, business is art if you do it the right way. Many things are art. Jay-Z is an example of business as art. You know what I mean? When you start doing things for money, you do anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you might as well
shut the job.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know, as opposed to somebody who is a businessman who's like, listen, this is how I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean? Like, so like I said, it's about definitions and being subjective. If you're doing stuff just for money, you won't go far. But at the same time, shout out to people who are getting your hustle on and taking it as an art form. Because look, Ross, Jay, like Kanye in his own way, like, know what I mean? Like, there's nothing wrong with being about your business. So, you know what I mean? But because, like I said, art is many things. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's visual, whether it's audio with hip hop, business. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, the sky's the limit. You know what I mean? So make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. Because doing it for the money, you might as well just be a prostitute. You know what I mean? So do you want to be a pimp or do you want to be a prostitute? Because the pimp get his money right.
Exactly. Well said.